20, it
Yeah.
wasn't 30, so it probably,
18 total to both facilities, or,
that's what, Cloud County is getting.
okay,
And
yeah,
if they do it
Well,
like
it's
they
still
used
not-
to, they split them up anyways.
yeah.
Still not
So
enough.
It would, no, absolutely not.
That would cost us money in the long
It
run.
would. But, as I was talking to Dwayne the other day, if we was to get, the way we used to do it is we filled the house with a couple different agencies. So if we was to get Sedgwick County and say, KDOC, then we might get their number. I did make contact with Deputy Warren from KDOC, and he took my card, and they talked about housing, and blow your mind on this, but they talked about housing in Arizona, because they're getting to the point where they think that they're probably gonna be over too. Arizona. So I contacted, Dawn and expressed my concern on that with her. We'll see where it goes. She said she was gonna talk to some of her people. Anyways, that may be an option for, you never know.
Well, so, Sedgwick County, so when you say their second facility, that was using cloud?
They're using cloud and they're using another, and he didn't tell me what the other one was. The only reason, he didn't tell me that which ones they were using, period. The only reason we knew that they were using cloud for sure is because, someone mentioned it prior to that meeting, but then the sheriff of Cloud County actually talked about it when we were in there. at the
Did-
meeting.
Is their jail, are they the ones that just built a jail?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they wanna
So
use theirs.
They've got a lot of bonds to pay off, which is another topic in itself. But anyway, so yeah, they had guards available,
They could just start using it.
and my thought is, and I kinda beat myself up, man, we would've just had guards, we could keep them, but 3 years now, we've been without any inmates. And I don't think the county would've wanted to pay 8 additional staff. I don't think it's right to pay someone to sit on the keister and do nothing all day. So we could've kept those 8 people for the 3 years now, but really.
Well, that wouldn't have been
it's
smart,
Mhm.
no.
I think that we would waste a lot of money.
Yeah,
So-
and 18, you wouldn't even break even where, they probably have staff they need
But,
to
you know,
utilize.
if they was to get full enough where they start bringing us 18, and then KDOC comes along and says, hey, instead of taking them to Arizona, let's take them to, Ottawa County. Then we could get another 18 to 20, that would be enough.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
I guess I'd be curious to know what, Cloud's arrangement was, like what their contract was with them. It'd be interesting to know.
I don't
If
know
they're-
there was a contract, they just said,
If
here's,
they're-
here's a busload.
so we have a contract with them too.
Yeah.
It
Well-
never expires, it's not one that goes year to year. So we have a contract with Sedgwick, we have a contract with Sling County, we have a contract with, Johnson County, who we used to house with.
And so is it something that we would be forced to take them, this contract? It just says we would try to become available. Is that how it reads?
Which I'm guessing that contract probably gonna have to change anyways, because they want every jail to be free and compliant. Prison free. So, and we're not, we would have to become. And that's with Sedgwick County or KDOC either one. I think it's going more towards that for lawsuit purposes and whatnot.
Do you know what prompted Cloud County to build a new jail?
I don't know. You talk to the sheriff and he is livid about, I mean, it should never, what on earth, I don't know how many times we went to the joint, jail conference deal down in Salina the other day with 5 other departments. And he was adamant the fact that, if you were thinking about building a jail,
Uh-huh,
because just not worth it.
the cost, yeah.
$1 million a bed is basically what we've heard thrown around.
The cost to build?
Yeah, for 8 beds, it's gonna be about an $8 million facility.
Well, this is on a different side note, but I had people ask why we aren't considering building a new courthouse, and I was like, $1 million window versus a new courthouse, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
But they were saying, why don't we build a building like the Kansas State Extension Office?
It would have to be huge, bigger than that.
Yeah,
Way
and
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know what the cost of that
Yeah.
was, but,
Yeah, that won't coincide with lower taxes.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just kinda thinking, wow, you really want us to look into building, if a jail cost $1 million a bed,
Million a bed.
Yeah.
One of the facilities, and then there was another one that was there the other day that was wanting to build, and theirs was 18.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how many beds that was, but it's
That's
just
crazy.
not the way it used to be. We paid off ours early, and I was able to make some money at one point in time on it, but
That's the whole
And I-
purpose of this regional jail thing, you know, we've all got empty beds in jails around this region, this north central Kansas region. So if we can figure out how to transport them, maybe a special purpose jail for men, for women, for juveniles, for whatever it might need, you know, for the overflow need, we need to look into the crystal ball, and it's a little fuzzy right now, we just need to put it together, pursue it a little further.
well, and on that note, I don't want to make a point, and I don't mean to front it or anything, but, in order, if we want to stay involved with this planning committee with the jail, with the other facilities, our liaison or our facilitator, she's very, very knowledgeable. She had 27 years as a deputy, and then another 5, I think, or 7,
Yeah.
something like that, as the jail administrator down in Sedgwick County. She's full of, I mean, she's very, very smart when it comes to this stuff, and it's.
So how much money does she want, and, and,
Well, it's-
and is she going to, do us any good, in your opinion?
I think yes, I think she would. And even if it's not putting butts in bunks, if we stay involved with it, at least we know what's going on and what everybody is doing around
Right.
the area. Whereas if we step down, step out, if something was to come up.
We're out.
We're not gonna be part of it, and I hate to do that. And I don't think the fees are that much, and she's talking like 6 months, but it's $1,000 right now. With the 5 counties that are involved with it as of Friday, it'd be $1,000 a piece per month.
Not to exceed that.
Not to exceed $1,000,
So
but
tops of 6,000?
it's 5,000.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's,
No,
for 6
6.
months,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
The thing is if we, which we hope to do, is get other facilities, other jails, other
Other counties, I
county.
mean, yeah.
If we get them involved, then it's gonna be less. But as of right now, with all the 5 who are there, it would be $1,000 per month. I don't, I said, I think if we did, or were involved with it, that we would, if something was to come down the pipes, then it would be my way out.
Okay.
so
Well-
you're saying this $1,000 a month, what do we get for it? Just clarify for me.
She's a liaison for us. She's doing a lot of research.
There are other counties and other states that are doing this, and she's researching how they're structuring their regional jails. So she's hoping to build a template off of that for us as to how it will work. And Russ has the insight on other things other than just housing inmates in there. There's transportation, there's food, there's, like I said, the specialty jails, if you will. So we don't know what it's gonna look like right now.
There's all sorts of teams. Start out, they just want something centralized, I think, by the sounds of it, from what I took from the meeting the other day. They want something centralized for other jails, to come to. because they're having problems with staff, keeping staff. They're having problems with, transportation. So they just wanted to come up with an idea. I said, probably we're just don't know, have it somewhere centralized that we can take inmates if we need to be. But there was also discussion about, there's multiple different types of inmates. There's the females. There's ones with, disabilities or medical or any stuff like that. There's your juveniles, there's your regular ones, there's a max type, which there are. I mean, the thought was is to eventually maybe separate those and use.
So what about the, so to speak, country club jails? Is there any,
That's,
is there anything about, does anybody say anything about that ever?
nobody's mentioned anything like that, but, my understanding is we were talking earlier about the Arizona trip with KDOC, they were private.
Yeah.
And I know Missouri's taken on, I think Johnson County have for a while, theirs is private down in Missouri too.
Well, I know somebody that had to attend one of those and they had to go Minnesota. So, I mean, and they were from Kansas.
Hmm.
So, we have some.
I just don't know who you, I don't know who you would, I don't know who you'd get in touch with to.
That's what this gal, this liaison, that we have, if we ask her to research something, she's gonna look it up, she's gonna
Mhm.
find it and get back to us. She'll be getting an email probably this
Mm.
week sometime from her. The ones that are actually doing the same thing that we're talking about doing, one regional jail in different states, she's got a list of 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
So,
All right.
But anyway,
Yep.
some honors. Last but not least is we had a meeting with, the juvenile, facility last week also, and as of right now, they are, and I don't know, just kind of a little bit of geographic, they're, 28, they were 28 bed facility prior to, getting the secure care. Now they house 12 juvenile offenders, and the rest of them are secure care. Secure
What's-
care brings in.
What's secure care?
Secure care is your ones that can't go to any kind of placement, they don't have foster homes because they either run or they get in trouble. So there's just nowhere for them to go. So they're not
Incarcerated.
criminal offenders
Right.
per se, they're ones that just.
So it's just like a foster care
Yeah.
system inside the prison
Yep.
or the
And
jail?
they make bank off of them. It's the reason that they went from a 28 to a 12 bed, because a year, secure care brings in 400,000 or more a year for them. So that's their money maker. And that's how they can keep our numbers down for the criminal, or for the criminal side.
For the 36,000 that we pay?
Well, and that's another thing. So as of right now, my understanding from the way they talk, there are 10 of them, there are 10 over their allotted 12. So the amount we're paying, the $180 some dollars,
Yeah.
those 10 over are 300 plus a day.
In the other
in the
facility,
facilities that they're housing in.
yeah.
Do so in last year, I mean, that's all I have to go on, is that, when we went over our usage, they charged us 70% of the original cost. But you're saying now, because of the restructure of the beds, that they're charging people more than, no, I'm sorry.
They are being charged.
For their overflow to other facilities, they're being charged more than what they're actually taking in.
They're 10 over their allotted 12.
And when they have other take those 10, they have to pay 300
They
per
have
bed?
to pay, they have to send them somewhere, they can't, I'm guessing they still have a allotted amount of kids that they can't go over there in their facility, so they have to outsource. So their outsourcing is $300 a day per kid.
Wow.
Most places.
Hmm.
Reno County is 300. I know there's one in southeast
So do we need to,
We're still discussing all of that. I can tell you, I am not gonna green light unless it's not just about the jail making or breaking even or getting somebody in there. It's about the schools and everybody else. I won't do it if it
no, I think,
messes up our schools.
I think that ought to be on the bottom of our list, juveniles,
It is.
in my opinion.
I was just sharing with you, the one thing to take into consideration with this is, and they straight up said, if we continue down the road that we're going, they're gonna go bankrupt. They're gonna run out of money. Not bankrupt's not the word, but they're gonna run out of money, which, you know what happens when they run out of money, they're gonna come knocking at our doors, because we have a contract with them, and they're gonna want more. They're gonna demand more.
Is there any other facilities that,
We can go to,
no, that, yeah, that we can deal with other than them?
we wanna pay the 300 plus.
Okay,
That's the
no,
So we pay, I was just looking up, we pay 193 there. So you're saying if we switch to go to Reno, it's 300 a bed?
I thought maybe that was just a, you know, if you drop in on them or have to go type of thing, that's,
Yeah, 300 plus.
okay. Well,
So,
how much,
yeah, it's one of those, you damn if you do, and damn if you don't.
so where are we gonna get the money? Do you have the money for this deal, or do we need to,
I don't, no.
For what?
6,000 to retain this lady?
So, so the 6,000 is for the whole year? Or I thought they said 1,000 a month?
6 months for the
Unless-
regional jail.
Yeah.
Unless she gets more people involved.
Yeah.
It could be less.
So she wants a prepaid 6 months?
I don't think she wants it prepaid 6
But
months. They're gonna send a
monthly,
bill to,
yeah.
Cloud County's commissioner, Mike, I can't think of his last name, and then he's going to then
Cleveland.
send it on to the ones that wanna be part of it.
Okay.
All right,
And there were several counties that weren't represented for whatever reason, but had expressed interest earlier.
Right.
So this number could go down from,
Clay County wasn't
or
there,
up,
Green County
yeah.
wasn't there.
so
it could be 7
we don't have to
counties.
make a decision right now about where we come up with the money, but
I'm
just
sharing-
prepared.
Yeah.
sharing that I would, and I believe Wayne would chime in, that we probably should be involved in this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
sounds like it.
So we send our adults, do we send females and males to Mitchell County?
And if we can, if I have the means to house them for the 48 hours or for, until we go to court, then I'll house them here. But if I don't have the staff on, I'm not gonna take the chance of someone getting hurt or worse.
All right,
So,
okay.
that's all I have.
We'll get back on and whenever that you find something out, let us know.
Well, and if somebody touches base with me, I'll, okay, they get back on the list, but.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Your version's much better than mine, Russ. You understand the lingo. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
You bet.
Come on up, Keith. Is that on? I don't think it's, the green light's not on the front, is it? Or is it? There, that button, there, that. There you go.
All right. I really don't have a lot to report. I'm still working with Jared Cox with Manco. I had to try sending him some drawings that they were wanting of the courthouse. They wouldn't go through because they're too big a file, so I had him drove down there last week to Manhattan and delivered to him on Wednesday. He's still working on it and put some different scenarios together.
Is that the one that they used in 2014? Or
19.
it was 2019? And that's who did it? Okay.
Well, the deal with Windows is they use Landmark out of Hayes and,
Hayes.
two people involved, Landmark and, another company that was with Landmark.
Out of
Manco is the company that builds the windows. They have a glass company in, Junction City, Interstate Glass, which is who did both personal walls on the ends and the storefronts a few years back for the courthouse when we got the new doors on north and south and the east and west side.
So on the north-south, what exactly did you do?
Those whole things were ripped out and replaced 100%.
So that entire section, right, where up to Marie's are not really anything beyond the doors?
It's just the doors.
Just the doors?
And the windows to the
Going all
top.
the way up?
The whole curtain wall, the whole end of the building is down on both ends, and then all the walk-in doors, what they call
On the sides?
storefronts on the east and west, were all completely taken out and replaced.
So that was caused by, that was needed to be done for,
Because the doors wouldn't close.
You couldn't get repairs for the hinges,
Yeah.
and they didn't make them anymore.
so we had to replace the whole thing?
And the closers
Okay.
were built into the floor, and those ones they wouldn't seal.
Okay.
How long ago was that, Keith, remember?
It's been 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. when we did
Right before you guys came in.
Okay.
So how did you guys fund that? Do you remember?
I think we used ARPA funds, didn't we? Yeah.
Hmm.
So so we can look back, that probably doesn't help us to look back and see how much it costs because it's totally
No, it's
different.
probably-
I got the quote on my computer, it was $200,000.
Okay, to do those,
250-ish maybe, I don't remember exactly.
I think it was almost 250,000. So the Hayes people, that guy out there had a hold on us when I first came in as a commissioner that we couldn't go anywhere else or do anything else with these windows without contacting him. And we did, and I'm almost 100% sure that, like what you said, that he went through Manco.
Manco has all the information for that.
Yeah, but he hasn't called you back, this Hayes person?
She has not.
She hasn't? Okay.
When I talked to him originally, it was a lady, and I have her name wrote down, but I don't know her off the top of my head. They were busy on some project that they had a deadline to get onto. She advised that the person that worked on that project in 2019 has passed, so she's gonna give it to another lady to work on.
Hmm.
They're supposed to be getting back with me, but they were on a couple of big projects that they had deadlines on, so they didn't have time to even look into it right away.
Hey, Keith, would you turn that microphone on? I see red light.
Push
There
that,
you go.
push that.
Yeah.
That go green.
Yeah, so I have not heard back from Landmark, but I've been in constant contact with Jared Cox from Manco and Dave, I can't remember Dave's last name. Dave was the one that came out and measured everything. They had a draftsman that was on vacation, but I've got him all the drawings and stuff, so he was putting something together and there's some, he was gonna build it so that it had different variables of what you wanted, you know, because we have windows that open. There's a cost to adding those, but he's gonna do it per window, so you'll have to figure out a number.
And they don't have, there doesn't have to be near as many.
No, no. It's gonna be a certain they call it a vent. So how many vents you wanna add to it, or windows you wanna add, but he'd just have a per window price, that if you're gonna add 10, then you multiply this time 10, and that's what it's gonna cost.
And all that has to go.
Yes.
But the important thing is maybe that they're not gonna have to tear one apart to see what makes it tick. They can
I
look at
don't
the
know.
blueprints maybe.
We had talked, that's why he wanted the prints,
Yeah.
and I had a digital copy of the prints that I think Richard had done through K-State or had him copying, that I sent to him.
Good.
I don't know where the originals went, but I have a copy of them, so, on digital. So he wanted to see those. They do not, the other problem is that we'll have to look, if we decide to go ahead and go forward, Manco will build the windows, they'll put the windows in, but they will not do the, repair work inside, they don't do that work, so we'd have to be talking to another contractor about stucco and plaster work.
Finish work.
Finish work.
Yeah.
So it wasn't them that put the ends in, was it?
Yes.
It was? Okay.
because it was all
Well, they did it.
glass.
It was done through Interstate Glass, which
Yeah.
Manco owns.
But didn't they,
But Manco's staff actually come out, Interstate Glass really didn't have anything to do
didn't
with it.
they do this stucco work and everything on these?
They did not. They didn't tear anything up.
Oh,
I mean, there was a couple of little spots of plaster and I fixed those. They were just short pieces. But when you start to rip these out, there's gonna be a lot more than a few spots.
okay.
So when you say something about this Hayes group, that we have some type of,
They don't
it
anymore.
expired
Yeah.
because of some work they had done that.
Yeah, they went to a lot of work.
It was kinda like when we went through the deal with them doing the electrical work, that company we used, I can't remember their name,
That just finished their work?
that did all the electrical stuff. I mean, they did all the deal and you have to pay so much or not get the work done unless they do it.
Yeah.
So the hold they put on us was so we wouldn't,
Take their drawings and go to another
Yeah.
company and have
But
it done.
that time frame has
yeah,
expired.
oh yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
gone. It was actually gone the last time we talked about it right before you guys got it.
Probably a 2-year deal. or
Yeah.
something.
Well, I like the sounds that they can look at the blueprints, hopefully, you know, and they can come up and make something that will fit right in there like we want with less windows and open window, whatever the decisions are made, you know, that I was nervous about tearing one window apart to look at it and then getting it.
And I'm
put
not
back
saying
together.
that that's not still a case. I mean,
Let's
that
hope,
they're working
yeah.
on it. So I just got them to him, like I said, I had them delivered to him Wednesday.
Yeah,
And I haven't talked to him since then.
yeah,
Okay.
progress.
Because his draftsman was out of the office.
Jim, I'm
for a
gonna
while.
give you a few seconds to say what you have on your mind, anything?
Well, like I say, when we talked to him, he was thinking about taking about out 2/3 of the windows out of there.
Right,
And do it down to one window, and you don't need any opening windows at all.
no,
I don't
Oh,
know,
yes,
I
we
like
do.
pressure.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we do.
Like I say, that metal shelf, you gotta get rid of that, or you just,
yeah,
you
That-
can't get
that ain't going
100%
nowhere.
what you wanna get done.
right,
And one time, and I don't know, they give us an estimate. Well, they give you a guarantee that they reduce your utility bill a
Right.
certain percentage. And I don't remember how that worked. It's,
I'm sure it would.
yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
did you-
report back.
I'll
Yeah.
let you know as soon as I get something back from Jared at
Excellent.
Manco.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean, they've got lots of projects they work on, so I don't know how long that will be. I'm hoping sooner than later,
Yeah,
Right,
but Jared is working on it.
well, we wanna pursue it a little and see how far we can go into it and see what takes place. See how much Carla's got in her pocketbook.
Yeah, see how much we can find, see what we
Yeah.
can find.
I
So
can
did
tell you that in 2019, the estimate was 1.4 million.
For
Right,
all of it?
yeah. So that means 2 now, probably,
Plus,
yeah.
did you say 1.4?
1.4.
At least, yeah.
Okay,
So did you happen to go to Burnham Bridge?
I haven't been out there on the roof yet.
Yeah, but you
I
said, wait,
will.
you went and saw the leaks?
No,
Oh,
no, I was
he
busy.
was on
the other day.
vacation.
no, we
No,
talked.
I was busy last week. I hadn't had a chance to get
I-
out. I was gonna go out Friday, but they're closed, so I didn't, and I don't have a key to the place.
Oh, yeah, Thursday was when we went out, and
Yeah.
Friday they weren't there. I got it.
Okay,
And it was just a good time to look at it because it was raining. So,
It doesn't really tell you much because it's insulated. You can't see where it's coming in.
Where it's
It
coming
could've
from.
came in 14 feet up the roof line, so.
okay.
I mean, it gives you a close location, but it runs down the beams, it runs behind the insulation, so. Most of the time you can get it. The last ones I fixed, you could see them pretty quick, what they were, so.
So when I asked Cameron, so we have never put any kind of coating or anything on that metal
No.
roof? And you wouldn't recommend that?
I wouldn't recommend anything that's latex on those roofs. What happens is it dries, and then it cracks, and then water gets under the coating. The coatings that you should probably use on those, you should only use on the screws and seams. There's a lot of places that go around and spray roofs out on the farm stuff, which works okay, but you gotta continue to coat them, because
Right.
once the heat gets to them, they crack, then they start holding moisture, which is even worse.
Yeah,
Right.
obviously.
And, I mean, it is a metal roof, some of the stuff I fixed last year was, some rust around screw holes. Whenever it was, I fixed those, and that stopped those leaks. So they make sealers that you can put over screws, but it's just trying to find which ones are leaking.
So then I guess I still have to ask a question about the ceiling tiles. So how do we prevent the stains on them that reoccur? Like, black one, and she had just set up the booth, and I looked up to see what kind of light there was, and there's a big black spot. So then Dee was gracious enough to get the ladder and replaced it, and then the Monday when we came back in, there was already a spot on there. So what can we
Here's-
do? I know you said it's been happening for 20 years, but can't we
It's
fix
happened longer
it?
than 20 years.
Too
The
many,
pan's
it's
constant.
sweating.
The deal with these units is, I mean, most people don't understand this system. This is a water chiller system. So whether that fan's running or not, there's 50-degree water running through that coil sitting right here.
So that tells me that you don't have to turn the air conditioner on.
Because it's not like
coming
a home
through
air
here.
conditioner.
I'm not being smart aleck, that's true.
I
mean, it's
left it
coming.
at 70 yesterday, weren't you excited?
I was, 'cause
75,
I was gonna
75.
leave
So
if it was
turning
hot.
turning it up and down really doesn't do anything because there's still 50-degree water running through that coil 24/7.
Oh, I was trying to
Same way
say-
with the heat, there's 100-degree water running through that during the heat, nonstop. What should have happened years ago is they should have been valved so that when this shuts off, it loops away from this.
Uh-huh.
Because they get a lot of the condensation comes on because the fan's not running.
Oh, so I make it worse?
Yes.
Yep.
I shut it.
So,
All your fault.
and the treasurer's office, she doesn't like it very cold. So that's probably the warmest office in the building. It won't cure it, but it's gonna slow it down if you leave the fans on.
Do you leave the
if you
fans
leave-
on it,
leave
just
them
turn the
running,
temperature
'cause-
higher?
Make it so that, yeah.
So it's
blowing
Jody's
air.
fault.
Um,
Yeah, it's her fault.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but the pan, there's a drain pan under each one of them. The one that's in
Under each,
every unit. Every one of these every place that you see a wet spot, there's a drain pan that catches the condensation coming off these coils. And every one of them drain to a sink back in the mop closet at the end of each floor. I take a vacuum about once a week in the summer and try to vacuum all the water out of the condensate lines so that they don't get plugged. But if we pull the tiles off in, especially Jody's office, there's condensation on the ceiling because of the cold up there from the unit and the warm concrete. So it's not just the unit, the concrete's even sweating up there. And I checked, the pans are already wrapped with insulation. They have the ductwork on these units so close, you can see where it's at. And then just above this tile, about 6 inches, is this concrete ceiling. And that ductwork, you can't get a piece of insulation. They've got the ductwork clear up against the concrete, so you can't insulate the top of it without ripping the whole unit out. So, we're gonna fight condensation with the chiller unit no matter what we do.
so is this air conditioning unit, is it considered efficient? Is it old, new? Tell me what it is.
It's not too bad. I mean, they still.
It may be efficient, but it's old.
It's
I mean, it
efficient.
was, been here since Moby Dick was a minnow. I
they
think probably
they
from
still-
the beginning.
They still use them in commercial settings. The
Yeah.
chiller units and boilers are still used today. They still build them, they still put them in because they handle such a big area. We don't have 14 or 15 rooftop units sitting up there like the jail does. And we have one unit that runs everything. There's some new stuff out there. This is an older system, what they call a 2-pipe system. So you can only have heat or cool. The newer ones are a 4-pipe system, so you could have air conditioning on here and heater on the next one. But that's not our case. We have to switch completely over one or the
Yeah, I
other.
noticed that.
So there are the newer systems. They're still the same thing. There's still a big unit outside, a chiller barrel that runs identical to what we have. They still make them, and they work good for big commercial settings like this.
Okay.
Keith, those pipes are probably, 60, 70 years old?
No, I wish Griffin's had came in, and I don't know when it was, but they put in new air handling units throughout the building, and they put copper pipe in.
Oh, okay.
All the steel stuff with the nasty insulation is still in the ceilings, which I wish, because it makes it hard for me to change fan motors, because all that stuff is still up there. They just cram new cartridges in.
Yeah. My
And
concern was 70-year-old pipes, there's gonna be leaks and rust or whatever.
the majority of
Copper.
that was changed to copper and insulated,
Good.
so there was less sweating, because but all the old iron stuff is still in the ceilings, in the way.
It's not used.
Right, it's cut off.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Keep us informed.
I absolutely will.
Good news. I want good news.
We want it under $1 million.
Per side?
Work your
Are you
magic.
talking per side?
No, work your magic.
Okay, Tammy, This road vacation, I've got the papers here and I signed, need to have the others two sign it, what else?
We might wait till 9, because the schedule.
Oh, that's the
Schedule.
hearing.
So,
Alright.
I could do that, I could either do a policy or destruction of records provided, if you like.
I did, shut that off, please. Okay, what'd you say?
We can, if you guys want to do policy approval maybe, is there a lot of
Sure.
changes on that?
I didn't have any.
I noticed one that we probably ought to do, and it's not really changing the policy, but the policy says that all vehicles are supposed to be cleared and marked for county use, and I don't think our emergency management Tahoe is. I think we need to get a decal or something on that, or some identification that says emergency
Yeah.
management. I think
I
it's a
think you
good
probably-
policy,
Yeah, I don't think he's had, yeah, we'll just bring that to his attention.
yeah.
You have that done up at
Yeah,
Delphus. ABI.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so,
So I can just go through the 2018, which is outside self-employment, any questions on that?
I didn't.
Can I just ask you, did you make any changes to these since you distributed them to us like 3 weeks ago? Except for, there was one in 4010 adding AI, but otherwise there weren't any changes.
Did you guys send any changes to Joe?
I did not.
Okay.
I read through them all.
Yeah, so no changes since we sent that to you guys.
Okay, so the only changes I saw was on 4010, which he added an AI section.
Okay, I
And-
seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what LLM stood for. Do you know what that stands for?
Where are you at on 4010?
On the second page, I think. Here, let me think. No, fourth page. No, hold on. Fourth page. It says AI or LLM. I didn't know what LLM was.
I cannot, off the top of my head, do not
It says
remember.
large language models,
Where do you see that at?
right below it. Here.
Oh, on the front page? Oh, there it is.
Okay,
Okay.
fine, right there.
Large language model. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's on page 1. And then, the only thing I had about that, which this is not really my area of expertise, but, so it specifically says, to educate employees on the appropriate uses of AI and LLM. So I guess my question was, who in the courthouse would use this and how would you educate them?
Well, like we use it all the time, you'd be surprised, I mean, how much staff uses ChatGPT and things like that to help write emails or get some things together. And I think it's more of education of reading it through, making sure you can't just like put something into ChatGPT and copy and paste and say, yep, this is what we're gonna use without looking at it. And I think that's just more so, and like Lockett doing the education through Huntress as to how it's affected.
So Lockett does have some education on use of AI for our employees.
They have Huntress, and I know some of their stuff has discussed AI. I'm not in charge of Huntress, but that's,
I've seen some stuff on some of the stuff that I have done.
Right.
The monthly.
Related to
yeah,
AI?
AI, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know how comprehensive it is or all inclusive, but at least it's a start.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, when it said educate employees, I was like, well, what do we do?
Okay.
But as long as we do
So-
something.
And I had a question on page 26 and 27 of policy 40.06. At the bottom of those 2 pages, I think it had our address wrong. It had 4037 North
oh, good
Concord.
catch on that, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so,
That was the only 2 places I caught that.
Well, I got 4006A, and what was the other one?
It's page 26 and 27 of 4006. There was 2 pages, just one right after the other.
Oh, yeah, so 4006, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that policy.
That's it.
Yep, we will change that. Must
Okay.
have typo at the bottom there.
Okay, and there was blanks on page 49, disposal of county property, how many
How
days?
come yours is numbered? How do you know it's
He's
49?
doing it based
I look at the
on
side.
PDF numbers.
Yeah,
You'll have to tell us what policy number.
disposal of county property, I don't know what number it is. In the packet, it was page 49.
So towards the back?
Ottawa
Yeah.
County property return and disposal, so 4012.
Yeah, there was many blanks in there about how many days notice we have to give before we can put sale, how long they're for sale, that type of thing. The possibility of employees buying surplus merchandise first, then it goes to, public or, Purple Wave or whatever the case might be, but
Gotcha. Yeah, let's not approve 4012, because I think the intention was to have that discussion, with staff being spotted out and filled in, so let's pull 4012,
Okay,
okay.
just so I know what his intention is. 4006A, that's just a typo we can fix,
okay.
that bottom part.
Okay,
Any other questions on any of them?
So let's get a, motion to approve, we're gonna just list them all,
Yep.
okay?
I'll make that, because I listed them out.
Okay.
So, motion to approve policy number 2018-4004, 4005A, 4006, 4006A, 4008, 48, or 10, and 4011.
okay, I will second that.
It's moved in second to approve the policies of section, 2018, 4004, 4005A, 4006, 4006A, 4008, 4010, or 4010, and 4011. That should be it. All the, anyway, so to approve those, is there, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there any discussion? I should have said that first. Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Approved as.
Technically, we still have 5 minutes. Do you guys want to do the destruction of records provided by law?
I signed all these,
Were
printed
there
and signed all of them.
Were there papers related to that?
Yeah, there's an RFA, the back of your agenda should have been,
Request for action?
yep.
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 Okay.
So what this is, we are statutorily required in our office to do destruction of certain records based on a retention schedule. And so that should actually be approved by the commission. And so I give the KSA there, and this request is for the destruction of the August 2024 primary election documents that we have to destroy. There's a list of things we have to destroy. And I have to have 2 qualified electors, preferably from 2 parties. So I have the 2 people, Sharon Johnson and AJ Thompson, who agreed that they would do it for us. And the list of the things that we can destroy within the retention schedule. So I just am looking for your approval to do that.
Was this in your packet?
That's what I printed off, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my packet, or maybe my printer ran out of paper. Was it the very last document?
Yeah.
I think
Printer was out of paper.
Was this the only thing after the policies?
Yep.
Okay.
Do we need a motion to approve the retention schedule and the destruction of records provided by law as
Just a
presented?
motion for the destruction of the August 2024 primary election documents that.
As presented or whatever?
Because we keep some things forever, but there's some things we have to hold on for a certain number of years. So,
August 24, what?
primary election.
Just says
what,
July.
26?
This says July
What year?
24 on here.
No, that's the date of the, well, that's just the meeting date, I must have, but no, it says August 2024 primary election.
August
year.
24th, 2024.
It's, no, August 2024,
2024.
yeah,
Okay.
primary election.
Okay.
You do this every year?
I do it all throughout. I don't know that you guys have ever gotten the full explanation, so I was trying to get you more information about it.
Oh, thanks. So you go through after every election and then you should destroy what you're statutorily able to do?
All throughout, I mean, throughout, like you said, throughout the year when I can, when we have time and availability, we try to do it within the allotted time as close as we can. But if we don't have the time or don't have people available to do it, then we sometimes wait. And I know there's some backlog of things that I'm still working on.
So are you
Okay.
requesting us to do specifically this primary election or all these? That you have
What's all
listed?
these?
Well, it shows, 5 years after registration list, poll books after 5 years.
That's
So-
that's, if you look, that's the that's the statute, the law,
Right,
and what
right.
the law says. So I will do whatever for the August 2024 primary
Okay.
election that I can, so anything that's 22 months, I have to
Okay.
keep. Cause like you said, poll books are 5 years, so those I can't do anything with. It's mainly, a lot of, because we have to store that stuff locked, and it's a lot of, information, it takes up a lot of storage.
Okay,
So we just need to approve the request for action for destruction of the records regarding the August 2024 primary election.
Okay.
I'll
That
make that
motion,
motion.
I will second that motion.
it's, moved and seconded to, approve the request for action of, August 2024 primary election. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then it's 9 o'clock, I think, to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So, I was on a road vacation. This is a road vacation that was discussed, on Dickinson County. This is for a road, Florida Township did a petition. It sits on the Dickinson County, Ottawa County line. It's actually technically completely in Dickinson County.
Second page, there you go.
And I did the publication 20 days prior to this meeting, so it has been published. And, what we're looking for is to sign resolution 2612 that would vacate that roadway. The only change to what you guys have,
Second page.
what I'll have you sign, is just on that first page, I had Ottawa when I should have had Dickinson, so they can sign that and I can replace it.
Okay,
But it was all done by attorney.
okay,
So I had a weird, the description of the roadway is totally using the description by Dickinson County rather than our roads. And it seems weird to me that we approve, we vacate a road using their descriptions rather than ours.
they're the ones vacating, so we also vacated, so we would wanna vacate what they state, in my opinion.
The road itself is in Dickinson County completely.
The road is complete.
Isn't it on the
So-
county line? Is it half
No, it's
ours?
actually technically it's completely in Dickinson County,
Okay,
but we do share half the road and half the road. We would have to pay to have our own legal written, and all of that, but this is just, it's only because technically we use as a county line road that we have to vacate it.
it's Frontier to Granite, I think Solomon Road, Frontier to Granite is our Ottawa County designation, if I remember right. But, like you said, it's just kind of a courtesy maybe to our Ottawa County people to let them know. It's actually being vacated by Dickinson County.
Right. Would you like to make a motion, Carla?
Move to pass resolution of 2612 to vacate the roadway, which is Solon Road between 3100 Avenue and 3200 Avenue.
I will second that.
Moved and seconded to, vacate the road, the resolution of the vacation of the roadway between 31 and 3200 Avenue. Is there any discussion?
Would it be possible or appropriate for clarity's sake to add between Frontier and Granite Road just in our motion?
That's up to you guys, however you wanna do it.
I think
I mean, it
clarity
says,
of people.
it tells, west 30, it describes as west 30 feet of section 31, township 11, range 1, east of the 6th principal
But
meridian.
those are all Dickinson references. That was my hard part, is that those weren't our section references in Ottawa Township.
In the
So-
resolution, that's why I kept it as Florida Township and Dickinson County, because
So you really believe the entire roadway is in Dickinson County?
do you guys remember when Janelle was here from Dickinson
Yeah.
County, and she told you guys, it is completely, they had
They said the roadway had been moved gradually over, I remember
all the way to
saying that.
Dickinson County.
Mm.
And their attorneys and their
It's all
map
finalized
and all
right
that.
there.
It is, so my discussion is over.
All those in favor?
And that's why I kept this Dickinson.
Aye.
No, this is written by an attorney, I don't know why they did boards, so this is the same resolution done by Dickinson County, I just changed the few places I need for Ottawa County for their attorney. So I don't feel comfortable changing a resolution from an attorney, and
Fine.
I don't know why they have it like that, but that's the same one Dickinson County did.
All right. Let's go with their attorney.
Yeah.
All right, so Northern Natural, oh, that's Chris. All right. I guess we're done with that.
Yes.
Move on up there, Chris.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
They've got some more, quite a few. I know they're gonna be doing more as they're coming, but we're just doing them as they come along.
So does that mean them improving this means we get more money?
That I have no clue.
Isn't that how that works?
Well, that would work be nice, but I think they're trying to find,
This is just
It's pressure
anomalies
testing.
and everything
yeah,
like that.
I think they're not investing.
Anomaly?
Yeah, that's the
They're
word they
replacing
use.
pipe.
Well,
Does
they
that
say
mean leaks?
pressure testing, they
Just
to look for any
anything that's
anomalies.
funny with the pipe.
Okay.
But,
They're going, I don't know if this is the same one that's going underneath the railroad tax?
Nope, this is a different one.
Okay.
This one's gonna be on, what is that, 138 that kinda runs right there by the highway off of, what is that?
All right, yeah.
well, when I was trying to find this yesterday on the map, and the two maps that they showed, one looked like it was.
Quartz, sorry.
Right.
One looked like it was in Logan
Utes.
Township and one was in Blaine Township.
Ute Road?
Yeah, the other one's on Ute.
Yeah.
There's two of them, sorry. The way that reads is North 138 and Ute Road. They're two different locations. They wrote it funny.
Okay.
So when I'm looking at the Logan one, that's on you, so it's showing that all these, extra temporary workspaces. Have you contacted, I mean, some of these say, how much space they need, and some of it looks like it goes into their farmland, it looks like it goes beyond their ditch.
It's not
Do you
his.
agree?
They do all
They
that
do all
with the
that. It's not his
landowners.
job.
They contract all the landowners,
Yeah.
so we don't have to worry about that.
Nope. And they still have a utility right away.
But isn't it just so far, or all throughout their,
Wherever their line is, wherever their utility is.
so wherever the pipeline goes, they have a utility right away with all those landowners
Mhm.
to come and repair as needed?
Yep. Till death do us part.
Wow.
It's just like the parking in between the sidewalk and the street in your house in a town. That's actually, you have to maintain it, but the city can come in and work on anything there.
Well, it looks like the pipe though, goes through their farmland,
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
right across.
and they have the right to go and
Mhm.
access as much
I
as they.
mean, whatever they need, they'll contact landowners, whoever's renting it, whoever owns it,
They
everybody
pay.
there.
Yeah.
Railroad, road
Pay to disrupt
company.
their work.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I mean,
They
if
do.
you talk to a farmer, then you take it in the shorts a little bit, you know,
Yeah,
but
but they
I
pay.
don't know what the numbers are.
Can I just ask a question, does a landowner get monies for having a pipe under their land?
That I have no clue.
I think basically just if they have to go in and repair it, that they pay damages.
Yeah, I have no
They have-
clue.
They have easements, but they have no financial gain by having a pipeline.
I don't think so.
Not that I know of.
I was just curious, do you have any pipeline under your property, Scott?
Not like having an oil well on your property.
Or a windmill?
Right.
Yeah, I was just like trying to figure out, okay, so that was helpful, there's two different locations.
Mhm.
I was trying to,
Yeah, he ordered that funny, with it being like an intersection. It is not an intersection.
yeah, I was like,
You'll never
one's in
find it.
Blaine and one's in Logan,
Yeah.
and which is it? My only other question was that they didn't put a number of days on that number 3, on the second page.
No, they did not. I will have to get with them. Cause I know he rewrote this one and that might be why, cause this is the second edition of this one. He'd had it, needed to make changes, I told him to make changes that it wouldn't be until this one.
What is the normal there, just so
Most of them put 90 days.
90 days is normal?
Most of them put 90 days.
So you'll make sure that that's around?
Yeah,
90
I'll
days?
verify with them to check, make sure that's the date, that they would put in there.
Okay, thank you. Do you want me to make a motion?
Yeah.
I'll move for the, to approve the right-of-way utility use permit, for Northern Natural Gas at the two locations listed at 138, as well as Ute Road in Ottawa County.
I will second that.
Moved and seconded.
Oh, did you?
You sign that?
Not yet.
Moved and seconded to approve the right-of-way use for Northern Natural between
Two locations.
two locations between North 138th and Ute Road. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Yeah, because some of those, I was trying, this print is so small, I had to get the magnifying glass out, but it's tiny. But it says like a 30-foot wide temporary access, that's pretty,
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
not that I don't understand, they need that space, but I just thought it was pretty disruptive to the farmer,
Right.
landowner.
Yeah,
I don't like it, but
I
that's the
don't
way
know
it is.
how that whole situation works out. I know they contact them and get some sort of agreements in there. And I don't know if they're all the same or.
Okay, before we, anybody else have anything for Chris?
I had one.
Surely not.
I just wanted to ask about, I sent you a quick email about, the solid waste committee, did you see that?
Yes, I did see that.
And what do you think?
I haven't got a chance to go over it a whole lot. I've been working with those guys on the asphalt.
With the keys. So I had, we had one scheduled for August 10th, and so I sent him some information saying, based on our cash balances and the monies we had, it doesn't look like we
Cause
need to.
I'd read your email, but I hadn't looked in.
What did we have
number-wise.
scheduled for August 10th?
Just a re-up, kind of, just to verify, everything was moving as planned and,
Solid waste.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. The meeting.
Yeah. And I think you make sure if we wanted to do tire recycling and all that, and we can move forward with it if you want.
I think I had it written down for August 10th when we talked about it. Yeah. And so do you want me to read the email I sent him?
Okay.
I said, at this time, I do not believe we have to increase our special assessments for 2027. I said, here is what I see. Our cash balance is 358 right now, 358,000. We have 5 more months of Hardesty and 6 more months of Salina. So, and remaining after those two, we have $141,000 cash available for recycling and tire recycling. And we have one more smaller revenue distribution in September. So we had anticipated a budget carryover of 77,000 for, in the budget for 2027. So it looks like we have more than that, even if we offer tire recycling and have some recycling costs.
Okay.
Do you want to double check my numbers before we
Yeah,
make
I
a
will.
decision on that?
What did you say you thought we had for tire recycling?
I said we have 140, after we pay the remaining Hardesty bill and an average dump fee for Salina, I just doubled what we had the first 6 months. And we had 141,000 available for recycling and tire recycling and cash carry forward. And we have one more smaller revenue distribution. I can't remember what it was last year. But
Okay.
I
Well,
thought we would be okay. I hate to increase the assessments unless we really
I
need to.
definitely don't think if we're doing all right, that we need to do that
Right.
again.
okay,
And I think that was why we were trying to have another look at it.
Right, I think so.
so you wanna cancel that meeting?
Well, I don't think we need to, do we have to meet with them to decide to do tire recycling, or is that our discretion?
We discuss it like when we did at the first of the year, and then after that it goes to, if you guys wanna do it based off of bids.
Yeah, well, since the grader guys were saying that they keep finding tires in the ditches, I think we need to do tire recycling. I was kinda disappointed that they still find them there,
Oh, yeah.
even though we have this free
Some people
recycling.
don't take advantage of that. and-
Yeah, there's a certain percentage of people that don't even really care or know that
Right.
that's going on.
Yeah, well, last year we didn't have it till what, October or something?
Mhm.
We kind of delayed to make sure our
Yeah.
cash balance was
And this
okay.
year we'll do a similar
Probably,
thing.
you like to do it at the end of the season?
Mhm.
Cooler weather, people can get out and do it, and not melt down in the tracks.
Okay.
I plan on going from here to my air conditioned pickup to my air conditioned home.
Right, 10-4. Okay. Well, I think that's it.
I do wanna say that I appreciate all your guys coming to breakfast last
Mhm.
week and, meeting with them and, you know, getting to know them and more than just a name on a
Right.
paycheck, but to understand who they are and kinda get to know them. So I
Mhm.
appreciate that opportunity. And I was glad that all three of us were there. And I appreciate the engagement committee for hosting it, so.
I'm glad it
I
rained.
thought it was a good event, yeah, especially since it rained, I guess we had everybody there because it was.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was good timing.
The only thing I got really is a short one, working with Tammy and Joe. We had a guy quit last
Oh,
week.
bummer.
So I'll work with them to get something put back out there. But
Blade operator?
no, he was in the shop, labor.
So, anything become of the one that you talked to earlier, say you wanna get through harvest? Talk to him? That might go to work in the
Oh.
shop.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard no more. Heard some rumors, but those are rumors.
Okay.
But
We
nothing
might-
more on from him yet.
You might,
We do have a guy that I gotta meet with today that's interested, so.
Have you got it on a sign out there in the yard opening?
No, usually you just post it, wherever they post it on the website.
Indeed, and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just seen it out there before, when I go by,
Right.
opening for apply.
Mhm.
okay.
Oh, on
On
the
the-
sign out there?
Yeah, the
Oh.
electronic billboard.
All right.
That's
Thank
all
you,
I
sir.
got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need a 5-minute.
So we had a lot of rain, so
Oh.
that create chaos
Oh,
on the
yeah.
roads?
Oh, yeah. It flooded Bennington, Ada, over by the lake a little bit, parts of Delphus.
So you had a lot of calls this morning?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a few of us worked throughout the weekend, getting some of this stuff up and going, and
Because of the heaves or because of the flooding?
flooding.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Repeat.
Repeat.
Need
Thankfully, it wasn't
need
as
about
bad as
another
last-
month before we repeat.
That would be all right, or 10.
Easy now. All right, thank you.
Yep. Thanks,
I
guys.
need a
Thank you.
5-minute break.
Okay. I'll move that we take a break for 5 minutes.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Carl, you got your email. approving it, so let's do it.
Okay, so you wanna do clerk comments? I'm just reminding everybody that early voting is happening right now in our office, and election day is August the 1st. Early voting is this week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and then Monday, August 3rd, 8 to noon, and then we close down at noon, and polls will open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on August the 4th.
Okay,
That's all I had.
so is everything going?
Yep, everything's going great. So we have amazing election workers.
Okay.
Good.
Dwayne, you got any comments?
I have a few. You and I have talked about the Riverwalk project that we have down just to the right-hand side of
Yeah.
the ball field of a possible,
Right.
yeah, path down there, whatever. What happens to that in a flood? Because at one time there were lights down there. There potentially, if we develop that, there would be asphalt walking trails and so forth and steps constructed. But
I think the flood comes up to, where we put that gravel. I
okay.
mean, it could come clear up on the football field like it did
Yeah.
does on occasion.
Yeah.
in '73.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
But that was just concern I had, if we develop that, and I don't know how other people handle it as Riverwalk. I've got a copy.
you got a copy of it?
I've got a copy of it.
It was always one of the things I was interested in, and I don't know, I thought if we were gonna do that, we'd build that up down there,
Okay,
but then you'd have to it'd take a lot of dirt, and then you'd have to redo the boat slip, you know, where they dock or not dock, but, put their boats in the river.
well, I don't think they're using that anymore, are they, Carl? Are they still using that boat
Yeah.
ramp?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it looked
They
completely
probably put
overrun.
some flats in there.
Okay, when I was down there at the fair, it looked like it was not used, but that's good. Okay.
Well, anyway,
Yeah, that was my concern I had, and I think it's a great idea, it would sure help when we're trying to revitalize downtown, and we've got a lot of potential, a lot of things going on.
Anything up above that parking area, I would guess there's probably not, I mean, it'll flood, but it's not gonna be like rushing water.
right.
Yeah, but this was down in the channel itself where I think somebody had put a big light down there for the fair.
Well, that was up here by the bridge.
Yeah, by the bridge.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been there for a while now.
Yeah,
I don't know, is it still there?
is it? Did it get washed away?
No, it wouldn't get up that
No,
high.
it's.
Didn't get that high.
Okay. So Carla, what did you find out about what you want?
Oh, I raced down there, see, I'm so winded. So in the payables, they had, a reimbursement for recycling for
Right.
Bennington, but they didn't reimburse for the cardboard, which was those pictures that were attached, but it wasn't real clear. So I didn't have a problem with how the aluminum cans were reimbursed. I just didn't see the cardboard reimbursement, which so I found out what they want from, Bennington Recycling, and I told them I would reach out to them, so.
Well, let's have a motion to pay the bills in and the minutes.
I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda, all inclusive accounts payable, commissioner minutes, and AAEs.
Were the minutes, did you have any problem with my changes?
I took out one of your lines that said that you and Mortimer agreed with something, cause I never put agreements.
Okay, it was just about the fair. I wanted her,
She wanted them to know that we agree.
that we
I
agreed
agree
that the fair was
usually
good.
down stuff, and I'm not gonna do it for one thing, not
That's
everything,
all right.
so.
I was just trying,
That's fine.
since Dwayne got the comment that he thought the fair went great, and I was like, we agreed that
Yeah.
Yeah.
you pulled that, huh?
All right.
Okay, I'll second that.
Coming up, I'm going to give you kudos for walking that whole mile, or 2 miles, 10 miles of the parade route.
No,
Yeah, that's incredible.
I know, I was kinda whooped.
We're in the middle of a motion here.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
yeah. We're still discussing next week.
Okay, so, it's moved and seconded to pay the bills at $71,838.50, or 57 cents, and approve the commission minutes of July 20th. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's back up to the, sales tax discussion. Carla?
Yeah, I'm signing real quick here.
Carl, did that even come up at the Republican meeting yesterday, the sales tax?
That, you know, to be honest, that was the one thing I forgot to bring up. And it would have been a good opportunity. We had a good crowd at the, GOP meeting. There was probably about 30 people there, which is, the room was full. And, do you want me to go ahead and tell you what my commissioner comments on that now?
Sure.
Okay, so anyway, Dawn Wolf was there, Representative Dawn Wolf, and she gave an update about what's going on in Topeka and, you know, some of the struggles. And I did bring up about property taxes, that there needs to be things reimbursed for these services that they demand us to pay, and she's well aware of that. But, you know, I told her, I said, one thing I thought was an easy way that they could help was with the elections, is that they pass all these bills
Sure.
that affect elections, and then we have
And
to.
they did pay for it for a while, but now they're not going to, right?
Yeah, so, I just said, you know, it's things like that, that it's a direct result of your bills that are being made, approved there, that you should reimburse those costs to the counties. For a small county like us, it's expensive. So, and you know, the weird thing about that meeting was that, she brought up data centers, and the majority of the people were in favor of them. But with we use an electric. But there's only 3 or 4 people that came up to me after, and I asked the room, I said, are you guys in a consensus that this is a favorable thing? I was kind of shocked. And then 3 or 4 people
That's
came
kinda
up afterwards and said, just so you know, I'm against this. But they did ask me a couple questions about the small nuclear reactors, and I said, you know, those are kind of Dwayne questions because you've done most of the research on that. So what's happened with that?
Absolutely nothing.
Is there any way we can encourage that development in our county?
I will check this week with the Kansas Department of Commerce contact guy, but I think we're stalemated because it's an energy question or an energy question, energy company question, you know, that they've got to get with that and figure out how it's going to align with what we've got for current production lines and.
She said that about Evergy, and then she said, I've given you the number to reach out to them, and I was like, I think you gave it to Dwayne. Did she give you some Laura Lee or something?
Lucy or Lakes.
But she was like, I know I said, you know, Dwayne has kind of been the leader on this.
I'm trying to remember. I have contacted Evergy.
Okay.
And I don't remember the name of the contact person, but I'll go through my computer and see what we've got for information and touch base with everybody again, because it seems like it's stagnated right now. There's no action. Data centers want us as a prospective county site to lay down an overlay of zoning and a site, so we would have to go out and solicit a site.
We would find the site.
Right, and then
Interesting.
overlay the zoning, make sure that it will go through. They want us to do all of the work
All the
to get it.
preliminary
Yeah.
work.
Well, I can find a site.
Okay, you just became leader of that project, Scott.
I know right where I'm going.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
anyway.
but
I was just kind of surprised because they're so,
they want us to do the legwork. They don't wanna come into a county and meet resistance, you know, and say, oh, no, we're not gonna do it.
Totally a good idea.
Yeah.
It probably is, yeah. So we need shore up support for a data center, figure out where the people land on this, and as well as a modular reactor. And I think the reactor goes hand in hand and co-located with the data center.
well, I was kind of surprised, and that's why, I asked the room, I said, let me get this clear. You guys are in favor of these? And
I'm not really, you know.
because most of the stuff I've gotten in emails is against it, and they send me the information. The one thing that scared me the most, and I don't know if you read that in an article either, that even the closed loop system for water, the evaporation rate was 85%, and then you have to deal with the contaminated water.
Right.
How is that disposed of?
Yeah, and I need to mention that to my contact at KDOC and get the straight
Ask
scoop on
them
that.
if that's a true statement where they said 85% of it was,
Evaporated
yeah. And then,
and contaminated.
we talked a little bit about the jail, and, I'm trying to think of what else she covered.
I really never.
We talked about the ballot measure that was on, and encouraged everybody to vote.
Okay.
It really never crossed my mind that that water There'd have to be a
depends.
water treatment plant somewhere to treat it, if that's the case. So
Yeah.
I think that'd be part of their business plan, but I guess our cars pick up contaminants from circulating through the cooling system.
There's a little bit of discussion on who's using more of the water, whether it's ag or non-ag, so there's a little discussion there. So,
There's a lot, I mean, that might be a big discussion, really,
From what I've
because
seen, ag, it's comparable maybe to a center pivot year round, or a center pivot, a center pivot puts on more while they run, but they don't run year round. So, I'm just anxious to get some more information and see where we go from that. Maybe I can have this contact guy come in on a Zoom meeting and we'll go again, get
Yeah.
straight information.
oh, I know another thing we talked about was education and we talked about, how there's a lot of levels of government at the state level that makes it, we're very expensive. We have high spending at the state level to try to condense that, but also from the school. Someone made the comment that only 41% of the monies in education go to the teachers, to the classroom.
51, 49.
Yeah. And so that was a huge, trying to get the cushion out of there, the fat, I guess, out of
Yeah,
that administrative side to the students, so we talked about that.
yeah.
Talk consolidation.
They talked a little consolidation, they talked why we didn't consolidate here in Ottawa County. They just brought it
no, I
up,
better shut up.
but, and they were saying, what somebody actually brought up the solution is to consolidate counties. And I think that we are trying to consolidate county services. I mean, like your jail services and the solid waste and when there's an opportunity to share, I think we should. We share appraisers, right?
Okay.
So that was from the meeting.
I do have one thought, I guess. When I see an ad on TV for any politician, I'm not gonna pick on anybody particular, but just politicians that are running for state level government, they're going to cure the property tax dilemma. How are
I
they
see.
going to do that? If they
Yeah.
cut property taxes, then
Say it.
how are,
That's what that's honestly, that's what everybody comments at the bottom of, when there's something read about it.
yeah,
Tell me how you're gonna do
Yes.
this, but they don't ever say it.
how will it affect us?
Yeah.
If they take away money from us for schools, county government, whatever the situation might be, where are they gonna make up that deficit?
Social
Well, that's
Security,
that's the key thing, is that's why I
Probably.
said, the only way that the counties are really gonna benefit is if you start reimbursing for
Yeah.
services you're demanding us to
Exactly.
perform. So, and she did clarify that local rural caucus, rural government, whoever has served in local government, they had a caucus set up, and that was the first year of it last year, so maybe they'll get more things done looking at rural counties, but
okay,
we need a voice, right? The
Yeah.
rural counties, because you can't do the things you can in a highly populated like you can here.
And for everybody that wasn't here last week or missed it last week, I've got permission to reprint that article that you mentioned in the county news from the National Association of Counties. I'm working with
About
the
Ottawa
message.
County?
Right, about Ottawa County. We know what's great about Ottawa County, and I think it's great that people know that we were recognized on a national level, in a
Yeah,
national
that was,
publication.
shocked me when I saw it, so, yeah.
So,
Going back to the sales tax though, I mean, if you guys
okay,
really.
that's where we're at.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
back up to there.
I'll go
Yeah.
back.
All right?
So I regrettably, I did not bring it up at the meeting, and I wish I had, but, I think that, if you guys really want it on the ballot, I would press to, designate maybe a third of the monies collected to offset, hospital costs or something like that, so that they see that, and I guess to offset specifically, you have to say the mills dedicated to the hospital so that they know they do get a benefit from it. Because that was the one that was, there's always gonna be the ones that are definite no, because they're gonna say no to tax no matter what it is. But the ones that were hesitant were the ones that felt that the EMS was a critical service, yet they didn't want more taxes. And so, if I would think that it would be more of a vote, a positive outcome from the vote is if we designated, you know, 25% or something like that to offset expenses that we already incur, therefore they see a benefit to it on the property tax side.
There was a whole list of things on their mobile integrated health system, the EMS, the hospital. I don't remember what all there were, but I was amazed at how many was on that list that we could use that for. But I don't think we need to split it out as far as hospital, EMS, MIH, or whatever it might be
I was
in
just,
order to present it, do we?
I was just trying to respond to the people that said only if it reduces property taxes. And if you don't have it in the question, I didn't think that they would vote yes.
It may not reduce property taxes, but I think it would prevent further increases to fund EMS or the hospital. You know, if we've got this available for medical services, then we can use it to fund anything with medical services in Ottawa County. And I'm assuming at our discretion, it's there, it's money available for whatever we see the need as.
Well, I guess, see, that's the key, is so if you just left it to each governing body, there's no assurance that it will reduce property taxes, because each commission has that right. Whereas, if you have it in the ballot question, it requires them to do something.
Well, the entity, you know, like, just for example, the hospital, if it happens to take off and really start, I mean, if it would happen to be one of the things that took off, and because there are some hospitals around this area, like Beloit, that I think are going gangbusters. If something would happen, that would happen here, I don't know if we'd want to label exactly how much we gave them.
Well, I would just think we have the ballot measure where we give them 6 mills, right?
Right.
And I can't foresee that going off.
Right.
And so if we say that it applies to that 6 million requirement,
Yeah.
it would still give us flexibility.
What were you gonna say, Tammy?
I was gonna say, I don't know, cause you guys cannot tie the hands of a future commission, putting it on the ballot measure, you still can't tell a future commission what they can and can't do with the monies. It'd be a ballot initiative, you wanna go through an attorney and see if that changes things, I don't know. But I know
guess
there's
it's-
rules about tying the hands of another commission and.
Yeah, you can't.
So, I don't know that you can or can't, I'm not
Well,
an attorney.
you must be able to on a ballot measure, because they're tying our hands for our commitment to the hospital right now.
I would talk to an attorney, I'm just pointing that out, I don't know, I'm not. an
Not that I
attorney.
wouldn't.
Right, I'm just saying, I don't know that they would, I don't know how that works.
I think the important step is to get the ballot measure passed, and it's medical, it's designated that way, and there was a list of things on that thing that I prepared, and you saw, that we can use it for. At the discretion, I'm assuming, and Tammy, maybe I'm wrong here, the discretion of the commission. It would be at each commission. If we decide to give the whole thing to EMS one year, and then the hospital is in dire straits, then we could divert from there to the hospital. They're that commission.
If it's not designated.
Right, just medical.
That's my understanding,
Yeah.
but that's just, some of these questions I would check with, like, with Harlan, I would check with an attorney, cause I don't know. You would hate to tell the taxpayers this is the way it's gonna be, and then a future commission comes in and says, no, we don't have to follow that, it's just for the sales tax.
Mhm.
Cause I think, like City of Salina, I think is done for the purpose of, but I don't know they have to follow the purpose of.
Well, we've
So I
talked,
don't know, I'm just not an attorney, and I know there's some of these questions that just need to be answered.
well, do we need to be reaching out to,
Gilmore and Bell,
no, well, that or,
yeah, there's some evil, yeah.
The attorney.
no. What has ever become of, Montoya's deal?
They haven't set up a meeting, but you can reach out to Montoya, I mean, we could utilize them.
I know we can, I just wondered if nothing's become of that.
No, I've talked to Cloud, they just gotta get a meeting set up, and then, all the tax stuff came in and the closing of the school, so we've been so busy with that.
Right.
We put it to the wayside.
Well, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna have to get some meetings scheduled pretty quick here, so.
Do You said the drop dead date is 30 days prior to,
No,
what was
60 days. prior to the
60?
election. I sent out ballots 45 days before the election.
Okay.
60 days is the absolute latest, and
Yeah.
So what day is that? What's the-
November 4th to
November
October 4th to September 4th?
yeah, first of September
Yeah,
is
1st of September.
is
Okay.
counting drop down.
So we got a month.
For sales tax.
Well, what, I mean, I guess I feel like I'm the one that kind of went and talked to people about it. What have people have said? Scott, have you talked to people about it and what they say to you?
Well, the people that I've talked to, I mean, the majority of them are tight people that don't want to spend any money on nothing until they need it. And then that's too late after they need it. And that bothers me a lot. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, that would kind of tie to the theory of the people that responded to mine to say, if we can say that it's gonna save you some sales tax dollars, then you have a benefit to offset it.
So,
I mean, to be honest, if we're gonna go to the effort of having it, I like to see it pass. So,
yeah.
to accommodate. What about you, Dwayne? Who have you talked to, or based on who you have talked to, what is your response been?
Basically, people have been in favor of it. They realize, I run in a different circle, I guess. The people that I've talked to realize that EMS services are in dire straits. We're not paying wages very well. We can't recruit, and that would be a real plus for the people that I have talked to maintain EMS services. And I can't say that we would reduce property taxes, but we would prevent further increases if we funded this medical situation, EMS or the hospital, whatever. We just got this open ballot initiative for medical to fund EMS instead of increasing the property taxes to increase EMS. So, or the hospital, if they fall in financial disarray or anything of that nature, the MIH program, I was shocked that we could do that, but I think the whole thing came up as a result of financial struggles with EMS, recruiting struggles, employment struggles.
Well, when I first brought it up, I was to reduce property taxes. Because, just because other counties had utilized it, and when we have the we paid 12 mills right now out for medical services. And see, what you're doing is you're adding, not only we're gonna pay the 12 mills, but all of it, and I'm more like, you gotta give some people some of it back to offset the 12 mills.
I think
How-
next year or two, or in the future, it's gonna take more than 12 mills to fund EMS, I think.
And the hospital.
6 is hospital, that.
Yeah. Would that be 18 mills if we would count the hospital in there?
No.
You say 12, when you mentioned 12 mills?
12 was both,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. So, Carl,
My concern is, and this was brought up by a person in our system of the city, that when this first started talking about, he said, well, they're gonna divide all that out and you're not gonna get the full percent anyway. And I said, well, we'll see. It's brought up with spreadsheets I sent out, money you guys are talking about that would come in with that 1 cent sales tax. That's almost gonna cover where we need to be with payroll. That doesn't do anything for trucks, it doesn't do anything for equipment. City manager said, we was talking the other day, and he said, I don't know what we're gonna do for a new truck for you. So I don't know if we're ever gonna go get you a new truck. And I said, I understand that, that's why we're buying used vehicles. But the problem is with used vehicles, right now I have 2 down. I have 4 trucks and I have 2 down. Anytime you're running used vehicles, it's just like the county or, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice. At this point, we have not had to call another service in to come get our patient on our way to the hospital. It's been close. But I'm just saying all that, there's nothing on the horizon that's going to show an influx of money coming into EMS from other sources.
But I just have to say, you have to remember EMS is a private entity. That is not a county service. It provides services to our county, but it's not a county-owned service. So for us to take for us to levy all this money for a non-county service, I mean,
But-
I think,
I mean, I know that's a fact, but it is in a sense, a county service, because we're
yeah,
there
but
serving.
we don't control the monies. If you
I
give
know.
them $1 million, we have no control over that money. That's a lot of money to give on that.
So
You're
if
gonna
we
give
get-
them $1 million and not know not have an accountability for it or have control over
Do
it?
you wanna be in the business of running the EMS, administering all of that?
I mean, what are you gonna do if you give it to the hospital? Are we gonna be in control of that?
Well, we have audited financial statements, and we have a board that we set up for the distribution of those monies. We have an accountability for those monies that we give to the hospital.
Carl, are the ambulances actually owned by the county or the city?
City.
City,
City
okay.
run.
Yeah.
So we're just,
It's city run and we take care of 3/4 of the county.
right,
And when Bennington's out, we take care of all the county. And when we're out, Bennington takes care of all the county.
yeah. Yeah. It's not like there's no oversight because the city's books are audited in regards to.
But it's our tax money that we're levying. I mean, we're levying the money, so I mean, in my opinion, we should have details of what that 6 mills goes to.
I think Carl prepared a pretty good spreadsheet that detailed where the wages fall,
That's just one part of it.
but it
We're
shows
taking up
deficit.
everything that you guys put over.
Yeah.
Well, we need to, well, I guess we need to find out from an attorney about
Do you want me to reach out to Gilmore Bell and ask him if we can put wording like that in there, or
Yeah.
who do you wanna talk to?
No, that's fine. I trust
Yeah.
him.
I mean, he would know whether or not we can specify it, and then we can talk about it further next week. I
Okay.
mean, but,
If you would do that,
Yeah.
and then. So I mean, how much does the city
Yeah.
give? I mean, is that public?
We're close to 700,000 budget.
Is there any talk of any
And you
increase?
guys are doing 4 something,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's,
But that budget includes your transport. Let me make something clear. There's no monies levied in Minneapolis that goes to EMS.
They get it from somewhere.
They get it
Probably.
from transport fees and
No.
medical reimbursement and us.
The city,
it is, I guarantee you, the city of Minneapolis is picking money.
Okay, so I'll show you the financial statements, and it's a non-levied fund. That's how it works, a non-levied fund.
for us, you
For the
mean,
For
city of
them.
Minneapolis.
okay?
It's a non-levied fund.
so what if they levied it? Would that make you feel better? Not being a smart aleck, I'm asking.
No, but I want you guys to understand that the city of Minneapolis is not levying money.
I understand that. What
Okay.
if they did?
Well, it would give them more revenue.
They're digging into the city till to pay EMS. They're not levying a
No,
fund.
they're not,
Carl,
How
didn't
do
you,
you know that?
because you look at the financial statements.
didn't you just say, Carl, that they were coming up with several $100,000?
Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
No, he said the budget is 700,000, but that is not because of their funding.
But that's not covering it. I can tell you that.
Okay, just, look at their financial statements, that's all I'm gonna tell you, look at their financial statements.
Okay.
Okay.
I will. Well, you find out from Gilmore Bell, if we can put that wording in there, and
And since this is going out public, just to clarify, this is for those services. This is not just Minneapolis. And Minneapolis doesn't just cover Minneapolis, it covers 3/4 of the county.
right. Okay. Well, we have, if you find that out, Carla, and then we have to make some kind of a decision in the next couple weeks on whether we're going to start having meetings and, with the public to discuss this all and see what everybody else thinks. Is that you're in agreement?
Yeah, if we're gonna proceed, we need to start doing stuff. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Consensus.
Well, we'll wait to hear back from Carla next week, but in the next couple of weeks, we have to make some hard line decisions about what we're gonna do about trying to get it out to the public and getting everybody's opinion. So, anyway,
You guys want me to print this out for you guys?
Yeah.
yeah,
Are you still out of paper or did you get some more?
You what?
Are you still out of paper or did you get more?
no, I put some in there,
Did you fill it out?
yeah. Well, unless you're gonna print 500 pages.
Well, it's 22 pages.
Oh, yeah, there's
Two
plenty in there. Well, that's times 3 or 2, yeah, there's that much in there. I don't know, it's pretty thick paper. Alright,
So what are you printing out, Carla, right now?
Their budget,
Their
the
budget?
city of Minneapolis
City of
budget.
Minneapolis, okay, good. People at home might wanna know.
The main thing is to, at the very front sheet, you know, the certificate page, it shows what's levied and what's a non-budgeted fund, just like ours.
right. I don't know if they would change the way they do it or not to meet us part way about, so we know or not. But it's something to think about too, about whether they levy so much or not.
Well, if you look at the budget, they don't levy.
I know that, but if they would,
Oh, well, you
that's something to think about. I don't know. They may not be interested in any of that, so we'll just have to see what.
Something to think about, I guess. Carla, you probably have on top of your head how much we pay the EMS, how much we put into their budget, right, off the top of your head.
last year,
400.
657.
650,000. Okay,
Right.
I mean, between the city and the,
oh, now that's between the city and us, as
no,
county?
I'm sorry, between the two services, the appropriation for both services.
Okay,
658, that was off.
658,
Yeah.
okay. But then what is the total EMS budget for, well, we've gotta figure out, it's complicated, it's really complicated, because then there's the Bennington service that got part of this piece of the pie,
They got 31%.
31%, okay.
Meltonville doesn't get any longer, so Meltonville doesn't get any
Right.
any
The other
longer.
69 went to
69% then.
Minneapolis.
Okay, so basically 70-30. Do you know what the total budget was that you had, Carl, to deal with? Cause I was gonna
Like I
figure,
said, it seemed like it's just under 700,000, but I.
No, their
quoted
budget-
on that.
Their budget authority was 712.
712.
But,
for service of $160,000. I'll give you the first copy. And, that would be what their medical reimbursements and, transports.
Here.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
So the way my math works, Minneapolis EMS is getting 454,000 out of the 658.
Probably, I didn't look at the disbursement, they budgeted 420, so they probably under budgeted, for,
Yeah.
just like we under budget.
Underestimate your
Yeah.
income and overestimate your expenses.
Yeah, so.
And then
there
Carl,
goes.
you said there was, your total Minneapolis budget for EMS was 700.
She says, shows
It's on the front page of that document,
Okay,
the 612,
712.
the 712.
Okay. 712 is the budget authority for EMS. So if we're only kicking in 454,000, there's gotta be 250 coming
Well,
from
just
If
somewhere.
like
you
she
look at
said,
their
there's
financial
some
statement-
that,
Look at their financial statement, it shows their medical reimbursement and transport.
okay,
What page is that on, Carla?
It's on page 10.
Okay. I haven't got there yet.
all right, well, we need to look at this. Run out?
It kind of stopped on the third copy. I think it's my computer linked to this though. Because you guys seem to not ever having printer problems.
Well, let's put this in, let's take it home and check it out.
Carla, are you saying that the transportation income is what you're talking about being put in here on page 10?
Yeah, right there.
158,000?
Yeah, well, this one right here, this is
160.
what they budget, yeah.
Yeah.
So those charges for service would include transports and medical reimbursement, both at
Okay.
160.
Yeah, let me write that out here. I need to know transport income. So. 112 minus.
So when I met with Barry, what the city has done in the past is they have, they provide, obviously, administrative help. And they bill part of their administrative staff to the ambulance. And, in the past, they have paid, reimbursed the city for the building, their portion of the building, and their portion of, I think if they're short monies, like to buy a major thing, they, they pay for it, but the ambulance fund reimburses them for it. But Barry said that the building payment is done in 2026, and something else was done in 2026, so. So their expenses should not be as high. So, Scott, when you talk to people, you have an absolute no?
Well, not really. I mean, see, I talk to younger, I mean, I guess, I don't know if you'd call them younger, I guess
You
I'm
talk to
getting
a lot
kinda,
of younger people?
getting kinda old now, ain't I? But I mean, that haven't ever ridden in a ambulance before, and, you know, the younger, I like the 50s and 60s, you know, people. But until they need it, they don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bad way to look at it, but but I haven't personally needed it, but family has, and I was happy as all get out to have it when it happened. I mean,
I think, you know, some people did ask, you know, like, what kind of oversight are you gonna have if you're gonna get more tax dollars or ad valorem dollars or whatever? And they did ask me that, like, what kind of training are you expecting them to have? And, you know, you wonder how involved you want to be on that.
good.
See, they don't have a debt service, and I'm thinking that capital outlay is the one that they used to, oh, the transfer to the general fund, that 35,000 could be, I'm gonna have to find my EMS file, it could be one of those costs that they say are done.
Okay. Well, you get a hold of,
Been our ambulance payment, I don't know. I just used one.
I do need to executive session for a few minutes about another item. Chigo.
Dave, you wanna take a 5-minute break, cause she's doing something about elections.
Okay.
Tammy left,
Yeah,
so
Tammy.
you do a 5-minute break? Or do you wanna go ahead?
What do you need to go down? Well, we're gonna go, we need a
For what?
15-minute, executive session for, confidential data, trade secrets.
And just the 3 of us?
Yep.
Okay, I'll move to go into executive session at 10:13 under the confidential data exemption for open meetings to discuss trade secrets, to just include the commission.
Okay.
To return back to the commission room at
10:28.
10:28, thank you.
Confidential data and trade secrets. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So you got 15 minutes if you need to go work on something, Tim.
No decision made.
But we want to extend it.
Right, we want to extend.
Probably 15.
Okay,
Okay, so,
Let's go to 10:45.
yes.
you want to make that motion, Wade?
Was to discuss, what was it, trade secrets and
Yep.
That should be the,
data, yeah, data and trade secrets.
to extend it.
Yeah,
10:45.
until 10:45 for 15 minutes with the commissioners present.
It's moved and seconded to extend to 15 minutes for confidential data and trade secrets. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No decision made. Ha ha.
Ah, you beat me.
All right, well, I think, did you get did you get through with all your commissioner comments?
The only thing, we did decide, was that the final decision not to have a solid waste meeting, or we're gonna
Right.
decide that next
Yeah.
week?
No, we don't need to have one if there's no reason to.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have, Chris can, that
Yeah.
he agrees with
Yep.
the email I sent him?
Yeah.
Okay, so the only other thing is, I did just ask, Jody for year-to-date hours for Elizabeth,
Mm.
and they're 831.
Yeah.
So are you?
Elizabeth.
Lockhart at the museum?
Oh,
The museum.
okay.
So we
Yeah.
really have to roll them off
Mm-hmm.
and.
They're working on that diligently, but they've hit a roadblock of getting any information, you know, the legal side of getting it formed. They've got an attorney that is volunteering time and stuff, and it's hard to hurry somebody. And,
That's volunteering?
Yeah.
I know, but we always agree, so
Yeah.
because once you hit that 999, then we have to pay back capers and all that.
You're right.
benefits, so we
Yeah.
don't wanna do that.
And how much is she?
8:30, she's got 160 hours.
She said year-to-date 831, and I don't know if that included all of July or not.
And she's not putting in a full 40 a week.
But last month, she worked 127 hours.
Oh,
so
my.
that's 30 hours a
Okay,
week.
yeah. Yeah.
So we can't go over that number.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
well,
So
So,
can you talk to the museum and
Yeah.
say, pick a date in the first 2 weeks of August, and we kinda need to roll them off?
well, they can't do it till a 501c3 is formed. The hangup is the legal help that they've got now on finalizing the 501c3.
I know, but they can pay for some legal help if they need to, knowing they're gonna get, if they don't get that money, that 62,000 or whatever is sitting in that account now, we're
Mhm.
gonna have to use that to pay capers and all the
Mm,
back
okay.
benefits. So
Okay.
it's to their advantage to pay something.
Yeah, or just
yeah,
push a little on the attorney and say, we need this, but,
Even if they pay the attorney
Yeah.
something, but they have to get it done by August 15th, and I think we
Okay.
always said that.
yeah,
yeah, let's remind them.
yep,
I hate to be, but
Yep.
truly, it would come out of the money they were gonna get
Right.
for startup
Mhm.
cash, so
mm-hmm,
if you tell them that's the repercussion, cause I'd hate to go back and pay back capers and all that.
oh, yeah, that'd be,
Mhm.
that'd
And
hurt.
I don't know, at what point we have to pay back healthcare. We have to bring that
Most-
up.
No, I don't think healthcare would be, it'd just be capers, and maybe social security, I
Oh.
don't know,
I'm sure we're still doing
Yeah.
social security.
yeah,
So, but anyway,
yeah,
I just, can you be the
Yes,
bearer of that
I
bad
will.
news?
I
Or
will.
Good news, that good news, but, I think that's everything I had.
Okay,
Okay,
you
I'm done.
done?
Yep.
Okay, so,
You got anything?
did you tell me ABI won something, or got some deal you was telling me, didn't you?
No, I don't think so. Wasn't ABI. Oh, it was a local group that I'm not at liberty to discuss yet. Some people are up for Spirit of Award
Yeah.
for NCRPC for regional planning that will be awarded September 23rd at the farm and Oddfellows.
Oh, yeah, and then we're invited to that?
Yes,
September 23rd?
yes. I believe that's a Thursday.
Hey, you went to one of those meetings last week. Did you learn anything that we need to?
Which
Did you-
one?
Didn't you
North
go to
Central.
North Central last week?
Yeah.
And so is there anything that we need to know for our people?
There's something again
Constituents?
that I was going to put it in my commissioner's desk article, and I was cautioned not to because it's still in the works. But there is another house that could be. We've got 4 moderate income housing units going up in Minneapolis right now in the eastern part. But there's another one that's coming to town that is rather creative and out of the box thinking, and
It's not that cement house, is it?
I better not say.
Oh.
So
So, are all these houses up here spoke for?
I am not sure. I don't know.
I know that one is.
Yeah, but there's those 4 houses, and then there's this other one that's coming to town, or not, to the county.
I haven't even been up there. Have they started on them?
They had rock laid out in the footprint of the house, like they were getting ready to pour concrete maybe, so they had material there, so. I'm just, it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut.
Well,
Hey, can I retract a minute, go back a minute? You did say no decisions made when we came out of executive session.
Scott did.
yeah.
Okay. So, but you were gonna ask about fire trucks? Do you remember, did you happen to remember to ask them about fire truck grants?
No, I didn't remember that. We got sidetracked on other stuff, but I
On the
can
housing
email him.
side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did talk to the guy that I know, in Florida, and he's working on fire trucks, but
Okay.
anyway,
You mean to help fire departments?
yeah.
I'll make.
I mean, a
note.
lot of those, big fire departments donate,
Used ones
yeah,
to other fire departments?
right.
Well, they used to get them from the forestry service too, and that dried
Yeah,
up all of a
well,
sudden.
it dried up to the fact that they're all beat up,
Ah,
from what I've heard. So.
Wore out.
anyway, Yeah, tore up.
okay.
Well, I don't have any, so I can take a motion to adjourn, I guess.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to adjourn at
10:50.
10:52. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.